5 harsh truths about women that men learn too late. 1. She will constantly test you. This is probably the most crucial thing that you need to remember about women's behavior. The huge number of things a woman does to you intentionally or, more commonly, unintentionally is conducted to test your masculine frame. A woman's natural urge is to examine how stable and strong you can be, in order to attain better opportunities for survival, and this is why so many women will pursue a man that's beyond what they can get. This goes all the way back to the phrase men date down and women date up. When a woman tests you, she only wants to know whether you're compatible with her natural desire for safety and comfort. Therefore, once you fail these tests, she'll lose some of her trust and attraction for you. Many men these days have no concept that this is actually a thing or that it's even happening at all. They fail continuously and then complain concerning their dating lives while drowning in their cluelessness. All that you have to do in order to keep her happy is concentrate mostly on your masculine direction towards success, no matter what circumstance you find yourself in. A successful man is capable of directing his dating life to his advantage, so in order to be successful with women, one should not fall for her temptations. One day it may appear that procrastinating your workout at the gym to satisfy her is the better decision, but that's just a failure of one of these tests. Of course, this doesn't imply that you need to transform into a self-obsessed woman-hating man, but you should understand the distinction between pleasing your woman and surrendering your own purpose in turn. 2. She will dominate you if you let her. Look around you. The usual dynamics in a modern relationship comprise a dominant, powerful woman and a weak, vulnerable, and submissive man. You may wonder why many relationships of this type exist all over the world and if this state of being should be the norm. The truth is that the reason there are so many dominant women out there is that their partners are too weak to attain the dominant role in the relationship. For example, think of a manager and an employee, a king and a queen, whichever relationship you could even think of. There can't be 2 leaders or 2 representatives who share equal power. If you don't maintain your natural dominant role, she will take full advantage of you and convert the relationship into her own personal possession. Here's the harsh truth. When a woman complains that they should be the dominant one in a relationship, everybody is ready to congratulate them for being a so-called slay queen. Yet the moment a man attempts to attend to his natural traditional duties as a leader, he is criticized as a dictatorial monster. Ask yourself why one side of the issue just gets shuttered. This has caused a whole generation of men to feel that they should be modest and submissive. You may think to yourself, at least it keeps my woman happy, but here is the ugly truth. The distorted dynamics of a relationship would definitely end in its failure in the long run and normalize women accepting their feminine side, which is comfortable and modest. Accepting beauty and feeling nurtures and is compassionate and kind, and a submissive woman will bring you happiness that a slay queen will never provide. This of course doesn't actually imply that you have to treat her like trash or an inferior being. However, you should also keep in mind that you should never worship her like a goddess or be a slave to her. You should simply guide her through life with compassion and take very good care of her while being in charge of as many of your interactions as possible. 3. Keeping a woman is a challenge. This is one of the sophisticated lies that's regarded the most joyfully ever after Hollywood myth. This myth has manipulated so many relationships that most women believe that if their relationship doesn't appear like the joyfully ever after type, then the man they have doesn't earn their respect. This belief has also resulted in men thinking that once they get the woman, they should just sit back and enjoy their presence for their entire lives without having to put in any work. They are then dumped for another man who has worked extremely hard while they were wasting their energy filling their days with the happiness of love. The reality is that in order to preserve your woman, you must work tirelessly on yourself, continuing the path that led you to somehow get her in the first place and preparing for the future you desire. Other men can and certainly will attempt to snatch your girl from you. Some may even succeed, but the ideal way of avoiding that situation completely is to put in as much effort as you can to balance up each and every day. Begin by knowing that you can't take her for granted. If you do so and get bored, you will go down in the record of the options that are available to her, and the lower you are, the greater the probability of you getting dumped for a person who's superior. Remember men, these are brutal facts that could even come off as disrespectful to some, but many men learn them too late. Therefore, keep reminding yourself that hard work and dedication are the keys to life. As a man, don't get me wrong. Love and desire are wonderful, but they are transitory places of rest that don't allow them to slow down your development. Many women say they love you unconditionally, but they don't know what that word even means. If you turn into an alcoholic and lose respect for other men, her unconditional love won't really be unconditional anymore. Remember that the only person who will love you unconditionally is your mother, and even more so, God Almighty. 4. Women dislike emotional men. I come across a lot of information about the validity of men's feelings. It's definitely important to know about men's mental health issues, and I'm not against all the advances society has made in that concept. What I am against is the poor mentality that's been widely publicized recently. Men these days believe that being emotional is not only normal but also effective because it makes you appealing to potential partners. This couldn't be far from reality. Women dislike the modern emotional man just like any other bad behavior. The worst part is that whereas almost any of them will tell you, "Oh, men should cry," you ought to be more in touch with your feelings, causing you to sink deeper into the notion that's damaging you. The greatest thing to do in this scenario is to build a powerful emotional stoicism over yourself and remain motivated as nature intended. Weeping in front of her is the quickest entry point to losing all of her respect and interest, and that's not even considering the bad effects it will have for the entirety of your social relationships. Many men get this totally wrong. They believe that by not weeping in front of a woman, it means that you must be some sort of macho man and conceal your emotions. That's not true. Clearly understand that there are plenty of better ways of solving your problem that will result in a much better return for you than complaining about it. Learn the stoic attitude and maintain strong emotional control, and you'll notice that people, especially women, will appreciate you a lot more. 5. Trusting her words is a mistake. This may be regarded as common sense by some of you, but for others, this is nothing but a sexist statement concerning women. The vast majority of men out there ignorantly trust the words of their partners only to discover that they have been cheating on them all along or even have told lies in some horrific way. That's because women have the power to effortlessly fool us with their soft demeanor and tones. While they're secretly planning against us, I am of course not suggesting that just about everything she says is a lie or that you should never trust her, but what I am trying to tell you is that her deeds are worth 10 times more than her words. She may be lying or betraying you, regardless of what she says to you. You'll be quickly able to detect changes in her behavior and attitude. So, understand how to read her behavior and compare it to her words, and remember men, that these are lessons that are better learned in the real world, and many men learn them too late. Well, that is all for the video. If you find it helpful, consider subscribing and sharing it with your friends.